How are you doing, guys? First of all, I'm so sorry about the delay for the third part of the UV process for the Ikoflex camera, the German camera that was developed in Germany in Frankfurt a long time ago in Second World War. Um, so as you know, guys, the last time I showed you how to do the plastics and metals and things like that. So let's just continue with this, and we're gonna tackle some specific areas that they're a little bit interesting. So the approaching here, and I'm gonna remind you guys, is that how I work with my UVs for these kind of cases. So these kind of cases, or this kind of case, is for specifically for HD resolutions like film, cinema, HD stills, things like that. Not for video games. It's related at some point, but not 100%. So at the end of the day, these three parts for UV processes in my generally in this case is to let you know how to use in a very advantage way the UV tools that Blender already has. So we have a very powerful tools in here in Blender right now. So let me just make a review a little bit. So we have, for most of these pieces in Blender, so we have a lot of things very interesting. We have the Maya 3 toolkits that it brings with it the unwrap with horizontal and vertical. That's pretty useful, guys, because sometimes when you unwrap something, sometimes it is like it tries to make it vertically, but if you need to readjust things in horizontal, so you can just unwrap in horizontal and vice versa. Also, we have very useful tools like Redify, we have Rectify, we have Normalize, Straight, UVs, blah blah blah. Align tools. These tools in here for align UVs. These are pretty good because sometimes um, the client wants, I mean, not directly the client, but sometimes the lead or the supervisor or the pipeline requires to have a very specific way to, I mean, to have in a specific order of the UVs, and the align tools are gonna be pretty good. Sometimes you need to mirror the UVs, sometimes are flipped. So we have aligning to the axis, we have rotations in 90, we have a 180, etc., etc., etc. We have relax, blah 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 blah. But also we have the default tools like the my UVs for copy and paste. We have aligns, blah 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 blah. Also extensions. I saw extensions that the copyright um, the copyright of the rights of the UV toolkit that I bought a long time ago, they have been released. So we have almost the same tools, but sometimes these tools behave a little bit more better or better. We have some other for setting the cursor to move the things. The image packer, that this is not in the extensions, but it's quite good, guys, for UVs at some point. I'm sorry, the UV packer. So it's good, but it has some specific issues in there. In my case, I invest some money in the UV Packmaster version 3. This is really good. In my case, when I'm working with a piece with a lot of objects in there that I need to do with the UDIM process with the in order to texture this with PVR and things like that. So let's just continue with this, guys. So, and let's just see what do we have in here and how we're gonna approach the goal for this guy. Let me just again, the screencast. Let me just activate it. So we have this and we have this. Yeah, that's pretty good actually. So let's just open this a little bit more different. Let's just start for the knobs in here. The knobs are gonna be at some point easy to UV mapped in here. So we have some specific stuff in here. So these are cylinders, but let me just remind you something, guys. For example, let's always look for the borders. In this guy, in this case, let's just click in here, and let's just click in here. Let's just find those gaps in there and just make the cut. So we want to open these buttons or these knobs in here like this. For example, from here until here, because let's just put the cards on the table, guys. Let's imagine the client says to you, I want some letters in here. So if you wanna print or script or stamp an image or numbers or whatever you want in this section in here, so it's much better if we have this piece, for example, unwrapped and completely straight, guys. It's much better. I don't know why it's taking some time. Let me see. No, okay, let me see. Yeah, it's because I'm using the texture. Let's just back just a single, and that's it. For example, in this case, as you can see, the job is almost done, so this is actually pretty good. Let's just unwrap it with minimum thread. It's the same, so let's just click these two guys, and let's just go for the Mayo 3 tools in here, and let's just straight these guys in here. Let's see how they behave in there. Okay, let's see. Okay, okay, not this way. Let's just go for the island straight. Okay, it doesn't work. It's I remember. Yeah. I'm so sorry, guys. It's the gradify. That's it. I'm so sorry. It's been a long time. It's been like 2 or 3 weeks. I haven't touched Blender here because I've been busy with some personal stuff, some family stuff. So let's just click Control A to average to precise the scale of the UV islands or shells. Control P just to bring the pack islands in here. Uncheck rotate because we don't want to rotate, or we don't want strange rotations in here like 45 degrees or other different angles that we don't want, that they could produce a nightmare in the texturing process. Let's just Control P, uncheck rotation. Let's just give a margin of 0.024 just to unwrap this, and let's just continue with the rest of the stuff in here. For example, let's just do exactly the same because they have the same topology. Let's just check, guys. This is just, let's see if this works, because remember the last time when I was talking to you about copy paste UVs, if you don't have the same position globally or locally or things like that, or they don't overlap in there, the UVs doesn't share exactly the same space. Even if they have the same topology, the same tessellation, it doesn't matter. So sometimes it's gonna work, sometimes it is not gonna work, because it's the count of the vertices, but not only that, also the number that they share in the global space or local space. So let's just click these guys. Let's just go for this guy and then this guy. Let's just Control L, copy UV maps, and let's see what happened here. Okay, it doesn't work because the piece doesn't share the same space. It doesn't matter, guys. I mean, it's not gonna take out my sleeping time. So let's just do it again. We know what do we have to do in here. Let's just do this. We can do it in here or in the bottom part. Let's just mark the seams. Let's just use the conformal and see what happening here. And yeah, as long as you remember, guys, I told you that sometimes I have some custom shortcuts in here. For example, for gridify, I just click Shift Q in this case. Let's just do it. And we have this. Let's just rotate 90 degrees. Control A, Control P. This is pretty good. We have this. See what do we have in here. So let's just go back to the texture section. So let's just bring the texture for this guy. So let's just split this section because I wanna rip off the textures in this guy, and I'm gonna add the texture that we already have for this. That is this guy. This is the UV test texture to see if we have stretches or weird stuff in there. So it's working pretty good actually. Doesn't matter. So we have good stuff. Let's just go for these independent parts that they're pretty easy to solve. Let's just do these guys. Let's just isolate what we have unselected. Let's just ungrab this guy. Let's just minimum stretch in here. Let's just merge these two windows. Let's see what we have in here. This is actually pretty good. I like it. So the UVs are working pretty nice and dandy. Let's just go for these two guys in here. Let's see if they have thickness. No, they do not have thickness. In the back, there's a section that it doesn't matter because there's nothing behind. Let's just ungrab these guys, and then in this case, for example, I don't want to get blind doing the corners. For example, just the cut in here and here and here and here. It's easier to make it in the UV editor in these cases, guys. These are very small and simple examples where you need to decide just in 2 seconds or only 1 second where am I gonna ungrab or make my seams. So in these kind of cases, it's much better to do it the UV editor because I don't need to close up in 3D, just in 2D. So just take in mind. Let's just mark the seams. Since we have the leave on grab, this is working actually in real time. Let's just ungrab, for example, for conformal. Let's I don't know what's going on in here, man. It's something is going on in this section. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna sneeze, guys. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Like my German friend says, Gesundheit. Okay. So the thing is this, guys. So for this section, so we have this. This is not an issue, actually, but we need to separate a little bit more this these sections in here, or how can I explain? Yeah, actually in here, for example, we can just select these guys in here. Also in the other section, just select these guys in there. Let's just clear the seams and then just ungrab again. And then we're gonna maintain this corner in there, and we're gonna maintain at least the main distortion that we already have in the model. So we have this. As you can see here, we don't have any bad distortions in there, so they're working pretty well. And let's just continue. These two guys are gonna be easy peasy lemon squeezy. Let's just ungrab this guy. Let's just do minimum stretch. Also for this guy, I think at some point, yeah, we do. Yeah, that's it. That's not a big deal. And let's just make a cut in there, because let me explain you something, guys. Okay, This piece, let me just bring the rest of this stuff. Doesn't matter. So as you can see here, we have this inner bevel in their inner engrave. So the thing is this: why do I have this lining here? Is because the I saw the references in there, and I saw that this part is gonna be plastic. So if I separate this section, for example, like this, and then I don't know, possibly like make a cut in here and make another in the bottom. Let's just make it like this. Let's just make this. This is what we're gonna have in here. So what happened? So for these two guys, they're gonna be 100% like shiny plastic, but this section is gonna be leather. So I don't wanna have a hard time like just going face by face, or three faces, then three faces, then three faces, just using the fill bucket in Substance Painter, or even here for texturing or adding the PBR roughness or base color in there. So I prefer to have these two guys completely separate, because I don't want to have a bad time in there, or I don't want that my colleague is gonna have nightmares with this, and possibly he's gonna complain and say, hey Mario, yeah, by the way, my name is Mario. Hey Mario, why didn't you separate these two UVs? I don't want to have a hard time with this. I don't want to spend like 5 minutes in here. I just want to spend like 2 seconds in there, just click and that's it. So these are small sample. I'm gonna repeat it again. These are like small samples that nobody cares in production, and they said, who cares, blah blah blah. And then sometimes you have teammates that they say, these would be easier if we would do this or that or something like this. So as more clean and more organized you have, and you have planned your stuff, the rest of the team is gonna be in peace with you and your stuff. So I know this is a very simple stuff, but I mention this because even if it's something very simple and very like, I'm gonna say a bad word, YouTube, but this is, I'm not putting any aggression on anybody, but I know these are very stupid examples, but nobody talks about this, and this is at some point, this is important. Some people is in a hurry. What is your worst enemy in this industry? The worst enemy is this phrase: I'm in a hurry, I don't have time. So just watch out your words and think 3 times before you do something wrong. So these are very stupid samples, I know, but this is something that you need to take in mind in order just to improve and optimize your time, your pipeline or pre-production time. So all right, we have this. So let's just see what do we have in here. So these are the pieces that we already have UV mapped. Let's just go for these guys in the top. Let's just isolate. Let's just see if we have any textures in there. So we do not have anything in there. So let's just ungrab these guys. Let's just do a conformal. So we have this. Let's just go for yeah, let's just go for this guy in here, something like this. Let's just make a cut in there, another cut in here. Let's just cut it. So as you can see, it's unwrapping out automatically because we have turned on, we have on the lip unwrap in there. So let's just do exactly the same for the rest of these guys. And yeah, let's just do this. We have this. Let's just go for this guy. Let's just go for this guy here. Let's just go for this guy in here. Let's just go for this guy. We want to do this stuff as fast as we can. I wouldn't say as fast. No, I would say as more comfortable as we can. I don't want to say fast because fast can be a misunderstanding in there. So we have also these guys. So let's just see. Okay, it's working pretty good, nice and dandy. Let's just go for this guy in the top. This guy. Let's just go for this guy. So let's just I wanna ungrab this guy in a very different way. Let me show you guys. Okay, each corner. I was planning to do in the middle, one in here and one in here, but I think that's not a good idea because I'm gonna steal a lot of space in there, and that's not good. So let's just mark the seams, and let's just make a cut in the bottom because camera will never see this section. Let's just ungrab this guy. Let's just see minimum stretch in there. And this is what we have. Let's just go for the Gradify. We have this, Control A, Control P, and then we can pack it. So we can use individual origins in case you don't wanna repack things. So individual origins is gonna scale with individual origins in each shell. So this is actually pretty good. We have this, as you can see here. I know right now the textile density is completely different. I know that, but don't do small details first. First, you need to unwrap everything, and at the end, you're gonna pack everything in a way that is more comfortable for you guys. So don't try to unwrap and then fit it where you want. No, it's first of all unwrap everything, and then you repack everything in order just to be a little bit more fast. So let's just go for this guy, for this big guy in here, this body in here. Let's just make a cut in the middle. So we have this this thing. So let me explain you something. So this is the piece that I had in the past when I finished this project, because this project is already finished. You can see it in my ArtStation. So this section was a little bit tough because I had to optimize some spaces in there and some lines in there. So let's just make some specific cuts in here because we have some bevel sections in here. Let's just make some cut in here in this section. Let's just be sure that we have information selected. Let's just make cut in here again. Let's see how it behaves. Let me see how it's behaving this in the middle before I redo some stuff. Okay, this is alright, man. And we're gonna make a cut in some specific areas. Let me just mark the seams in here because I don't want to lose the selections. Let me just watch. Okay, so we have some specific details here in the bottom. So we have this. Let's just separate these guys. I don't care about if I make a cut in here right now. No, I will not do that because I will not spend my time. I will not waste time in there. I will do it in the UV editor when I finish everything. So I'm gonna make a cut in here. Also in this part. Let's just mark the seams. Let's just see how the things are working right now. Let's just make a cut in here. Let's see how it's behaving in here. Yeah, let's just make a cut in there. So in this section, let me just unselect this and make a cut in there because I want to have all this front section just as in a separate shell in there. And let me see. I'm concerned about this section here. Yeah, let's see how it behaves. Let's see until where is going this guy in here. Okay, it's going around. This is actually pretty good. I don't have any issues with that, so let's just make the cut and let's see how can we fix things in here. For example, in this section, I don't want to have this cut in here, not also in the other side. I don't want to have it because I will separate the section in the bottom in a very different way. For example, from here and here, and we're gonna make a cut in here too. Yeah, from here until here. Let's just make the cut. Let's just do it in the other side. Let's just make it until here. Let's just mark the seams. Let's just go for these guys in the corner and also the other guys in the other side, because this is not 100% continuous loop. There's no continuity in there because there's a pole in here, but we don't have triangles in here. That's the most important part, because triangles are not bad, but they're very complicated just to solve in texturing. In video games it's completely different. It's just, they're easy at some point when you have all the detail maps already baked, but for cinema and things like that, it's not the same, because you are subdividing things and then you have distortions, you have other stuff. Alright guys, let's just ungrab this guy. Let's just see what we have here in conformal. Let's just see. Okay, we have this. Let's just try angle base and minimum. Okay, I think angle base is doing better job than the other guys, but we can have a mix in there. Let's just see what happens if I use conformal in here. No, that's not good. Let's just make a straight the UVs in here, guys. This is something that we need to take in mind all the time. Yeah, people say I hate UVs. UVs suck, but UVs are your friend, guys. Are your friends, because they're gonna help you to develop good texturing process. So don't get angry with the UVs. I know it's a very tedious job at some point, but don't get mad with UVs. UVs are pretty good, actually. UVs were my Baba Yaga when I started 3D, guys. So it was a very scary process for me, because I didn't understand anything in first place. But once I start just developing and increasing my skills and things like that, I said, okay, UVs are awesome. Let's just do the angle base again, but I want to see these sections in here, because I don't want to have any distortions. So let's just make a cut in here, guys, because I will cut it. I will separate those guys in there, because they're just causing a lot of issues for me. I'm gonna make the cut in there. Let's just mark the seams in there. I don't want to have any issues with this guy. So let's just see what do we have in here. Okay, conformal. And what happened if I do angle base? Okay, this is working actually much better. It's a little bit more straight. But let's see in this guy. No. Okay, let's just make... What am I doing right now, guys? I am working with the pins. The pins are restricting areas. The pins are for restricting areas, or restrict unselect areas, and force them to reshape or re-ungrab in a very different way, like horizontal, vertical, or maintain those guys in the same position. In this case, for example, I'm gonna out a line like this. So as you can see here, the problem with this guy is that it's just producing some issues in there. So what am I gonna do with this guy in here? So I'm going to pin these guys. Let's see how much. Okay, this is working pretty good. And I'm going to force these guys until this area with the pins on the at this height, and then I'm gonna select the 2D cursor to make this. So with this, for example, we have some specific let me just pin these guys because I don't want them to move. Let's just restrict these guys. So we have a little bit more straight the UVs in here, so I don't want to have any like curvatures or distortions in a very bad way. So that's the reason, because I use the pins in here. So okay, and here we are. So I don't care so much about this small curvature. This is actually okay for me personally. So let's just do exactly the same for these two guys. Let's just we have medium points. Yeah, let's just realign these guys, and the rest is gonna be piece of cake. Yeah, there you go, guys. So we have all of this. Let's just pack it with some space in there. We need to check the rest of these guys. Let's just see it. Okay, we have a section in here that it didn't cut quite well. Let's just identify this guy. Let's just synchronize these guys, and I'm gonna select faces, L, with my cursor over on it, and it's this section. It's in here. Possibly there's a part where it didn't apply a cut in there. Possibly there's a missing seam in there that a place where I missed the seam. Possibly. Let's just compare with the other side. Okay, we have this, and we have this. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Yeah. So what's going on in here, guys? Is I will prefer to make a cut also in here. Yeah, it's gonna be much better because I'm gonna avoid problems with distortions. Let's just do it exactly the same thing in the other side. That's not a big deal. So we already have in this section, guys, as you can see, the ungrab section in here. So another stuff in here is that possibly we would need to make a cut in here and also in this section, and you will be able to see that things are gonna become much more clean in this. As you can see here, we have a clean process for UVs in here. Let's just go back to turn off the synchronization. Let's just check this and ungrab it with minimum. It's not good. Let's just go for conformal. It's working actually pretty good. Let's just go for angle base. It's alright at some point. Let's just go back to conformal. Conformal is gonna be alright. Yeah, this is alright. Let's just go conformal. Also this guy. Let's just do conformal. Yes. So we have better UVs in here, more clean, cleaner. Sorry about my English. I've been in Mexico for so much time, so I need to go back to Canada or another place. to keep improving my English. So we have these UVs, as you can see, they are clean. So we can just let's just rotate these guys because we don't want to texture this in reverse. 180. Also these guys in here, rotated 180. So things are working pretty good actually. Yes, this is what we needed. There you go, guys. Yes, Control A, Control P. Let's just pack this and let's just unhide the rest. So we have this. Let's just finish this. Let's just see how can we ungrab this guy in here. And the most interesting part in here is that this section has some width in here, some thickness, and we have a hole in there. That's not a big deal, but we're gonna need to separate this guy in here. Let's just make a cut in here all through. Let's just do it. Let's see what happening here. Let's just make another cut in here. Let's just ungrab this. Let's try conformal. So the problem is that we're still missing some seams in there. So I was just trying just to see how it's behaving, all of these UV sections. So the thing is this, so we need to make some cuts in some specific areas. Like, let me see what happens if I make a cut in there and another in here. Let's just see how it behaves. It's going, it's processing, it's processing. So let's just go for this section. I'm going to check the single because I want to see clear all my stuff in here. Let's just make a cut in there. Let's just make a cut around and see how this stuff behaves. Let's go back to texture, and this is working actually pretty good, man. Oh man, oh god. Ooh, I hit the lottery. Hit the lottery, guys. So this is actually pretty good, guys. So let's just make a cut in some specific sections. I want to check how it behaves in some specific sections. For example, let's just let's just make a cut in there. No. Okay. Alright. Let's just make some specific cuts in the borders in here. We have some border lines. We have this and this. Sorry guys, it's a freaking mess with Windows 11. I prefer the Spanish keyboard because I have more letters in my configuration. It's in Spanish, just the keyboard. But most of the time, even if I am living in here in Mexico, I speak English every day. Because I am in contact with my friends in Europe and also Canada, and I have a lot of friends also in States. So let's just make some cuts in here. Let's just check it. So we have all of this. There's gonna be a chance that we need to make a cut in here, possibly. Let's just check if this is at some point possible or is worth it. I think it is. Now let's just make the cut in here. Let's just make a cut in there and also in the other side. Let's just do it. Yeah, I think I missed the small piece in the other side in here. Yeah, or possibly I make a long cut. No, I miss it. Yeah, it's in here. Yeah, there you go. So we have all of this. Let's just check in the UV editor. Let's just see how it's working this. Let's just check under. Let's just make a cut in here because I think it's gonna help. The distortions are gonna be more positive. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, much better. Yeah, we do have Elvis in the house. Let's just make a cut in here. So we have all of this. So let's just make it straight. Control A, Control P. Let's just pack it, and let's just continue with this. So we have a pretty good, nice and dandy distortions. So let's just go for these guys in here. These guys are gonna be a little bit more easy. The only thing is that we need to make some cuts in here, I guess. Yeah, let's just make a cut in there. Let's just make another cut in here. First the holes. We're gonna free the plane section, the coplanar section. Let's just see what do we have in here. So we have a bevel, so it means that we need to make a cut in there. And let's see just in the back. So yeah, also we need to make a cut in there. And then we're gonna make some cuts in the corners. One in here, one in here, and one in here, one in the other side. So some people asked me in the previous tutorials or lives that why if I have, oh my goodness, yeah, why if I have, for example, the lip and grab on in here and also in here in the UVs, why is not unwrapping these guys in here? The reason is because also this is the same process in Maya and this is the same process in any other software. Why is not unwrapping things in Lib is because first of all you need to have information in there. So we don't have anything in there. We have 0 UV maps in there. So that's the reason. If you project a planner or something, so and then you start just making your sims, the lib and grab is gonna start working because it's gonna have material to work on it. Let's just see conformal, and it's working actually pretty good. The only thing that I don't like is these 3 circles, these tubes in there, where the lenses are gonna be living in there. Let's just minimum stretch. Let's just Control P, Control A, Control P. Let's just pack it. I want to have order in here. Let's just check these guys in here, these guys in here, and these guys in here. Let's just make them straight. Also with these guys, I'm gonna make them straight. There you go. Control A, Control P, pack it. Let's just give it some space. There you go. And let's see what do we have right now. So as you can see, nice and dandy UVs. I know the textile density, I repeat it, is not the optimal one, but at the end we're gonna work on that. Let's just finish these guys and then we're gonna just work on the final packing instructions, or however you want to call it. Let's just work with this guy. Let's just make the cut in there. So we have middle line in there, so let's just cut in there because we're gonna have 2, and then let's just make another cut in there. Let's just ungrab conformal. Let's just see what do we have in here. I wanna make a cut in there in each corner because for me I will be able to have everything straight. And I repeat, Don't make bad things that they look good. Do everything correct. Doesn't matter if you're working on AI or things like that. If the AI screw it up, you need to fix it, or someone needs to fix it, because at the end of the day is progress, guys, no perfection. Robert McCall, Equalizer. So the progress is for the human. Perfection doesn't exist. There you go, my boys. We have this, and this. Control Q, there you go. Nice and dandy pack. There you go. Let's just go for this section. I think it's gonna be exactly the same stuff in here. So we have rectangle guy with thickness, so it's going around. So we are gonna have two sections, so we will not suffer on the texturing process. And let's just unwrap this guy. Let's just unwrap it, conformal. So we have this, and let's just check it with minimum. It's quite alright. Let me see this guy in here. Let's see. Okay, what are we gonna do with this? Okay, what we're gonna do is we need to free some space in no borders, I mean in these corners in here. We need to free some space because it's necessary. So as you can see, it's still is working right now. So let's just make the cutting here because it's gonna help a lot the topology until here. Mark the seams. Also, let's just see how this is working in here. Yeah, this is actually working pretty good, actually, man. We need to do exactly the same stuff in here in the other side. Oh yeah. As you can see, I'm also human, man. I commit mistakes in here, so I could make just a selection in here of the loop, but I didn't do that because I was so distracted. And so we have this. Let's just unwrap this guy with minimum or conformal. Let's just see how it behaves. I like conformal. It's working actually pretty good. And yeah, it's alright. Let's just make it straight like this. Also this guy. Let's just outline. And we do have an amazing UVs in here. I like it. I don't want to separate these guys because I want to maintain as much less islands as possible. Let's just go for the last two sections. Let's just go for this guy in here in the middle around. Let's just go for this guy. I don't want to cut it in. Okay, no, yeah, let's just do it in the middle. And we're gonna do cutting here because this is like a cylinder in there. Okay, let's just conformal. Let's just see what do we have in here. It's actually it's pretty good, guys. It's working awesome. We can rotate these guys. Let's just see what happens if we rotate these guys in here. For example, let's just rotate minus 90 degrees and 90 degrees. So we have this positive. This is pretty good, actually. I like it. Yeah, there you go. Let's see what do we have in here. Let's just save because I don't want to cry. I have already cried so much in this month. I lost 2 uncles, and I don't want to cry for UVs because UVs are part of the job, but this is something that is something that I can fix. I cannot fix my uncles. So let's just select this. Let's just unwrap these guys. Let's just see how they're behaving in here. Let's just minimum. It's working alright. No so bad. Let's just angle base, conformal. We can just ungrab these guys. I can liberate this guy in here because yeah, but I will not. It's not so important. Let's just free these guys in here. Not this beeble, this in outgrave in there. Just these borders because I wanna see how they handle this. Alright guys, yeah, it's okay. At some point, let's just outer line. It's working pretty good actually. P. Let's Control P, Control A, Control P. Let's just pack it. We have nice and dandy UVs in here. Distortions are working pretty good. As you can see, that's the reason because I didn't want to separate this guy in here. It's alright, guys. Sometimes you will waste more money in production if you say, okay, let me just cut this guy in here. So you're gonna have more. You're gonna have less space in the UV editor in this case. So as you can see here, guys, we already we have finished these UVs. Let's just select everything, and then we're gonna pack everything. Let's just Control A, Control P. Let's just put 0.008 because there's a lot of pieces in here, so we don't need so much space between them. Because okay, this is actually working pretty good. There you go, man. The only thing that I need to fix is just this guy in here. Is because we need to rotate this guy in here 80 degrees. Let's just see the rest. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, actually, this is awesome, dude. Let's see how it's behaving all of this. Control A, Control P. Again, repack these guys in here. And yeah. The other thing that we can do in here in order just to make like manual UDIMs for these guys. This is the final section of the UV tips and tricks. So in order just to have a little bit more for UDIMs manually, if you are very picky with and very obsessive like TCA, like me, I have TCA, guys, have to be honest. I'm a guy with TCA level 1. I have some obsession with the order. I'm gonna watch first of all which of this piece is the biggest one. So I think it's this rectangle pieces in here. So let's just put the 2D cursor just here in the corner, and I'm gonna just scale it 2 times, or possibly I'm gonna make it manually, like something like this, and I'm gonna do something like this, guys. So what do we have in here? We have all of this. As you can see, we have pretty good order in here, guys. So for UDIMs, this is gonna be alright. So you can make it a little bit bigger, yes, but I think with 4K for all of these sections is gonna be okay for a tailable texture, for seamless and repetitive texture that I can produce for this. And then you can just start bringing all of these guys manually to the rest of the. You can increase the tails for the UDIMs. For example, let's just bring these guys in here. This is manual, so you have control where you want to place all your stuff in here. So don't get mad, guys, if I am doing this manual. So you need to know the things manually first before you start working with automatic tools,
because sometimes manually is gonna give you not only the freedom where you want to put the stuff, is also is gonna give you uh, a little bit more clean spaces where you exactly want the stuff in here. For example, I prefer to move this guy and then just add this guy in this section and just start just filling the rest of the stuff in just spaces in order just to save some memory cache for the render process. The render process is going to read all the tails, and as much tails you have, as more render time you're going to have. And yeah, let's just continue with this. For example, let's just these small pieces, just take them into these sections in here. Let's just bring, for example, this guy. Yeah, it's alright in here. And let's see what we can bring in here. For example, this guy. We can bring this guy in this section, or this section. Let's just bring this guy in here. Also this guy. Let's just make some space in there. I know this is, for some people this is boring. For me, no, because it's not boring, because I love puzzles and I prefer to fit everything in a correct way before I do something that is gonna bother the other artist in the pipeline or the studio. Let's just bring these guys in here. Let's just bring these guys to the other tail. Start just bringing all of this like this. There you go. Let's just bring this guy in here. Also this guy in here. Then we can just start just bringing these two guys in vertical. We can bring let's just move these guys just a little bit to the top, just to make some space for those small pieces that I am bringing right now. Yeah, this guy, for example, this and the other two. It's gonna be much better. For example, this guy, for example, let's just move it in here. And yeah, let's just bring these guys a little bit like this. We have some space, and we can bring all of these guys and make some space for other shells in there in order to save more space for our process. Let's just bring this guy. There you go. Let's see if we can save some space, for example, for these guys. For example, this guy in here, we can just put it a little bit more down. Possibly this guy too. And we can just start just moving stuff in here, because I don't want to surpass the more than three tails and the texturing process. Something like this, something like this. Let's jam. Just bring this guy. Just bring this and okay, something like this. This guy, we can move it and we can just plant this guy in here. And then readapt sections. something like this. And then let's just see what happens if I bring these guys to this section. For example, let's just bring this guy in here, because these pieces are a little bit tiny, so I can fit possibly these sections like this. Let's just move this guy. Let's just, I prefer to do this, guys, than organize things automatically in some specific cases. Not always, but sometimes it's necessary just to avoid some for a small time the automatic tools, because sometimes they do what they think you need, but sometimes you need something very specific. And there you go. There you go. Here we are. So I think we already finished this 3 tutorials. So what I did and what I show you here with the UDIMs, with the range or things like that, you're gonna apply the same technique or the same stuff in the metals, in the plastics, in the lenses. So, but you're gonna apply it in your own pieces. What I try to bring to the table is that we have several tools in here to make, to organize your UV shells, to make some specific shapes from curvature to straight UVs, and also to give you an idea how to start. Many people is getting frustrated because they don't know how to start the UVs. So you saw my process from the part 1, 2, and 3, how I work. At the end of the day, you have a lot of automatic tools to arrange your UVs in the UV section, in the UV editor, in your UV space. You can use them. That's not a big deal, while you have control. So while you know where you are putting your stuff. So I'm gonna use the automatic UVs arrange, for example, the UV packer. But the problem is that it's gonna resize some shells in there. That's something that the UV packer doesn't work so much properly. So we have 3 tails. Let's just put 3. I'm gonna present you here is the UV pack, the UV packer. We have something for combined stuff, but also we have for selection stuff. We have if your plan is just to make everything in 4K, so you just change it, and the padding, for example, is completely different than the UV pack, the normal UV pack tool that Blender already has by default. So let's just put, for example, 8. It's sufficient. We can select high quality, but let's just check what we have with efficient. 3 tails. We can name the new UV channels in there. Let's just pack it. Let's just pack these guys. So it's working something like this. As you can see, guys, is just this is the main problem that I was telling you before. It can give you an idea how to arrange all your UVs and shells in 3 tails, but it's not so precise, guys. That's the reason, because I did it manually. You can compare this with this that is gonna give me. So you can see there's a lot of missing space there. So we're wasting space. We don't want to waste space. And also Control A, and you can see there's a lot of UV shells that they did not maintain the one-on-one scale in there. So let's just Control C, go back, and then I'm gonna show you pretty fast. It's not gonna be a complete tutorial for that, but it's the UV Packmaster version 3. The UV Packmaster is a tool. I don't remember who developed. I think it's a European guy or a Russian guy, but this is an amazing tool, guys. It's 100% amazing. We need to give a beer to this guy. And the thing is this. So it's so this tool is so freaking smart that you can pack things with other stuff individually, or repack stuff, or you can use single tails, or per groups to tails, whatever. You need to read this. And also it has an algorithm that is going to precise, or is going to make some iterations to precise the UVs in three different tails, in case that you select tails. For example, in my case, I'm going to select three tails, and then I already have my margin of 0.003. I'm going to just move this guy until 16. Let's just do it with precision of 500, and then let's just pack it. Let's just see how it behaves. Actually, it's going pretty good. Not as good as I have in Control C. As you can see, I don't miss so much how to say space in here. For example, let's just uncheck the rotation. Let's just go back to a margin of 0.003. Let's just tail. Let's just work with 3. Let's just pack it. Let's see how it's going. This it's going alright, man. I don't have any problems. But the thing is this. First of all, as you can see here, we have a lot of pins in there, so you have to unpin things in order that this tool work properly. That is gonna move all the islands. The pins are gonna restrict the movement in here. So let's just go back tails. 1, 2, 3. This uncheck rotation enable. Let's just pack it. So it's working pretty good, guys. So we don't have any overlapping. We have pretty nice and dandy stuff in here, and you can just repack again and see how it's working. As you can see, I have a NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3050 with one iteration. It's alright, guys. I don't need more power. It's working actually pretty good. So this is just I show you how it's working, this tool. But you can compare the results with something a little bit semi-manual, because I split everything in groups, and then I just start moving manually groups. So you can see that um, I take the advantage that I um, arrange everything as I want, not as the machine wants. So this is it, guys, and I really hope that you like this. I understand, guys, this is a very boring um, section. The UV pipeline section is really boring, but I hope you enjoyed this process and you learned something different. It's not about a universal way to do the UVs. It's my process, but I was doing a lip streaming. When I'm working like 4 times faster than this, because the client needs its product. So just take in mind all the tips, all the tricks that I show you in the 1, 2, 3 parts. And thank you very much, guys, and see you next. Possibly I'm gonna do. Let me just give you some advanced news about that. There's a chance. Uh, there's a chance that I'm gonna make some specific tutorials for making procedural stuff or textures in here for the camera. Possibly just procedural textures, not hand painting textures or custom painting. Possibly I'm gonna do it inside in here to show you and give you another tool. I know you already have Marmoset, I know you already have Substance Painter, I know you already have Mary and other uh, fantastic texturing tools in there, but I'm gonna show you how can I approach the goal with the camera for some specific parts, not for the complete camera, but possibly for the leather, for the metals,
to accomplish some specific goals for procedural um, surfacing, texturing in here. So thank you very much, guys, and see you next. And have a good Wednesday. Yes, I think so. Yeah, I think it's Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday. Have a good Wednesday, guys, and see you next.